Guys, all right, let's get into the grand finals. We're here on Waterfall, bottom left, MaxPax. Down here, Astrea in the top right. Now, we've just learnt more about the enigma that is MaxPax. Astrea said at the start of the series, hey, it's pretty late for you over there in Denmark, isn't it? And MaxPax said, yeah, it's 4:40 a.m. Astrea said, okay, well, what sort of snacks do you have to keep you up at night? And MaxPax said, I don't eat at night. I don't like to eat. If I have to eat, I'll have one banana. So, Twitch chat has now dubbed MaxPax one banana MaxPax, whereas Astrea, who's been cheesing, taking gold bases, opening up mineral walls, and playing like an absolute psychopath all game, all tournament long, and has just destroyed people at his way to the finals. He is, of course, the president of Clown College, Astrea, and Astrea already sending a zealot across. He's rallying stalkers, and he's going to build some shield batteries out here, guys. Look at this. Gateways on the way here for MaxPax. He's going to build a zealot. This pylon is just a distraction. It's just to distract MaxPax from going down there and defending his natural. Now, I think it's going to be very hard to actually overwhelm this because MaxPax will have battery overcharge available and he will have the high ground advantage. The question is, though, will that stalker count just get too high? In this scenario, I'd like to see Astrea prioritize an extra stalker, but he doesn't actually have enough gas right now, which means he should be building a third gateway and actually building a zealot right now, I believe. He's going to start to work on these buildings, trying to wear them down. And he's just going to see what he can do. Picking off shield batteries, not a bad way to do it. Nice cancel from MaxPax, though. The Stalker's just going to focus the shield battery. This is how you do it, dude. You just focus those batteries. The Zealot just adds damage to the gateway, puts pressure on. And if you don't overcharge, well, guess what? You can't heal a battery with itself. So that battery goes down. There's already so many shield batteries. Fourth Stalker is on the way. But remember, this is not many units for Astrea. I think he messed up his gas timing. And I think he's realizing he's probably not going to kill MaxPax. He may need to expand. That probe sitting on the natural. But he's only on 1 gas and he's only on 20 probes. He can't expand. This is pretty all in, man. He's kind of got to go for this, dude. That shield battery really far back. He's realizing he can't really focus that down. And at this point, I'm thinking he might, yeah, he's going to pull back. He's going to pull back and he drops a Nexus. He does drop a Nexus off 20 probes. So he was planning to do this. This was always his contingency was, I'll just build a Nexus if I have to. I'm not sure if this was always his plan, but I do think he messed up that first gas timing just a little bit. The Stalkers are going to come forward. MaxPax with some good positioning, though. He's able to fight pretty well here. He should move 1 Stalker over to that right side to try and get another bit of fire. And these 2 Stalkers, if they move over there, he can probably be shooting. Because at the moment, it's 4 versus 2, so Astrea just getting a bit more firepower was winning the trades. But now that 3rd and 4th Stalker are joining for MaxPax, you can see Astrea trying to like shuffle around and be kind of fancy. He's going to build a Robo. It's a Robo versus Robo? Oh, this is so cute. Astrea's like, yeah, I'm probing up, taking a 2nd gas. I'll just probe up my 2 bases. And even though MaxPax has a better economy, is it enough? This is actually so fascinating, right? Because it's like, well, you are ahead, but this position could start to be a little oppressive, right? And remember, Astrea is the president of Clown College. So to get to be the president of Clown College, you have to play a whole lot of games that kind of look like it's a Bronze League versing your grandma. You know, it's like the players don't even know what strategy is, what the meta is, or what the units do. They're just like, oh, I'm going to do some things, you know, and that's kind of what Astrea specializes in. So you put him in this situation, which is a little alien for most players. For Astrea, he's been here before. He traps his Stalker there out of range of the battery. Ah, what a legend. Now, he's still trying to find pickoffs here with these sentries, but that's the weak point on that left side. That's where he's got to keep force fielding and picking off those Stalkers, I think. That battery is going to take damage. The Immortal can actually bust so much damage. Look at this. The Immortal's going to run up here, I think. Yeah, he is. He's like, oh, you know what? And he's going to kill the Cybercore. Doing a lot of damage. Oh, he traps the Stalker there, and he says, hey, that's pretty exposed. I can just focus you down. Oh, good force field counter from MaxPax. Traps 1 Zealot, 1 Stalker. Is he going to be able to kill that Stalker before the force field wears off? Yeah, batteries are out. He should be able to get that kill. He's also... Oh, another sentry gets trapped by Astrea. Astrea really playing the dirty game, and he's got a Prism out. Prism just starting for MaxPax. So Astrea can keep dancing here all day. But wait, when did they get in? What the hell? Oh, I didn't even notice. He already sent a Prism across. 2 Adepts just got 10 probes. I wasn't even paying attention because I'm a dumbass. I was like, oh, wow, he's kicking ass. No, remember, MaxPax had a very fast Robo, and he just annihilated Astrea's economy. Astrea is effectively all in, but against battery overcharge is available in another 30 seconds. You've got a good army, and also Zealots, a very intelligent addition for MaxPax. Even though he's losing some production, MaxPax kills his own gateway and tries to shove forward here. The Zealot's running on. Great force field for Astrea there. Really nice positioning. But look at that. MaxPax has 2 Immortals, and 2 Immortals are going to be a big problem. Adept shading into the main base right now. Astrea's Immortal very damaged. These Adepts going to try and do some counter damage. Astrea's economy is in Dick Town right now, guys. MaxPax, no stranger to chaos himself. As much as I made fun of Astrea being the Clown College president and all that shit, let's be real, guys. MaxPax started out as a very cheesy player. He was one of the best cannon rushers. He keeps becoming more and more solid every month that goes by, every week that goes by as a player. But you got to remember, he played so many cannon rushes and crazy contains himself over the years. He knows how to bounce around and survive these situations. And he comes out of this massively. Kills a gateway, kills a robo, kills some pylons. And Astrea's going to do a very intelligent, desperate gambit. And that is, he's going to try and go double Stargate. He says, look, you're heavy on Immortals. What could surprise you? What could maybe get me this victory? That's maybe it. He tries to do a bit of an ambush in the middle of the map, but MaxPax quickly picks up, saves those units. Phoenix would normally be the go-to, but because he's under so much pressure, Astrea might just have to make Void Rays, which is not ideal, because Void Rays do not scale well against Blink Stalkers, and upgraded Blink Stalkers especially. The Stalkers are just too microable. Void Rays are very good versus low-level players and mid-tier players when they're using Stalkers because they won't micro them well enough, but at high level, you're not going to do well versus MaxPax Stalkers with Void Rays. So Void Rays being forced out, very unfortunate. He's down 10 probes. MaxPax taking a third. Blink is on the way. DT Shrine is on the way. He will be starting up +1 in a moment as well. And he's sieging the front at the same time. But there's no real stakes here. MaxPax is playing a vegan Protoss push. There's no stakes. No stakes. It doesn't matter if this fails because he's so far ahead on everything at home. He was like, well, I seem to have momentum. I seem to be able to do damage. Let's do it. This is beautiful, by the way. I love this. Look at this. There's a beautiful river there. Look at this nice little scenic walkway. You can see the little critters run by underneath. You've got all these trees, nice pine trees and stuff with little red floating bacteria, is my theory, is what those red floaty things are. Little kind of bacterial organisms floating in the wind. You've got, I mean, look at this. There's birds. Oh, God. I don't know who made this map, guys. Let me know in the Twitch chat in the comments. I'm really bad at remembering who made each map. But just aesthetically, I see very little nature, very few trees, very few greenery on most maps. And for years, there's 2 things I've shouted for. More plants and living things on the map rather than just dead fucking wastelands and trash bins, right? Like none of this like new repugnancy where you chuck a cute dog on a map that otherwise is a literal garbage heap. To be fair, that was at least the aesthetic of new repugnancy. So as much as I hate that aesthetic, at least that map was clearly going for an extremely ugly map. But I love more greenery, more trees, more colorful things, more beaches. No doggos on this map. I don't know if there's any critters on this map actually either. There was a different map. Oh, blinks forward and just tries to focus down the Void Rays. Power overwhelming. MaxPax gets game 1. Yeah, I don't think there's any critters on that map, but there is a different map where you have, there's crab, what were they, crab beetles? Which looked really cool. All right, guys, let's go to map 2. Top left side of Stargazers. We've got MaxPax up here. It's a very bright in the main base, isn't it? And here we've got Astrea in the top right, and he is already gonna, oh, he's gonna take the expansion, yes! So for those who don't know, you have 2 10 mineral patches, so 4 probe trips. And if you mine those out, you can take this protected base inside your main. MaxPax, being the normie that he is just going to the front expansion. He's just going to low ground wall off there. But Astrea is going to mine these minerals out. Now, I don't know how many minerals it is, excuse me, to open up this path, but that's a very narrow choke point to attack up to. So it's more of a surprise attack angle than one that you're really going to commit too much to. And Astrea here going 1 gate, double gas, and he's gone full wall off. So MaxPax is going to arrive and go, oh, okay. Is it cheese or not? Oh! And he's not even going to necessarily take this because his name's Astrea. And he's like, there's a gold base. Like, you know, Astrea is he's salivating, man. He's getting all, oh, and he's like, oh, yes. We've already seen him take his opponent's gold base against Trigger in the semifinals. And yeah, he's going for it. He's going to totally go for it, man. You know he can't resist recalling probes to a gold base. MaxPax gets the expansion down sooner. So I think Astrea is going to open up with probably like a quick Stargate up here and then drop the Nexus, is what I would imagine. Oh, he's going to build it here. Stargate there. Very nice. Get that closer to the opponent's side, I guess. So there we go, guys. Stargate does go down. Now, MaxPax will have a pretty solid lead on this Nexus. It's a very, very economic build MaxPax is doing. Not even building a Zealot or anything. Astrea's going to build just a single Adept here. And we'll go for that gold base in a moment. Should be able to recover. And of course, you've got to remember that if MaxPax doesn't check for the gold base, he could be in trouble. Now, I believe this is the map which was a bear. If we look at it, yeah, nose, eye, nose, this beautiful star-shaped nose. And then you've got its frowny, it's kind of like little frowny mouth down here, right? You guys see it? These are the big, you got big ears up here because big cuddly bear ears. Some have said it's a pig. I guess it's a pig. It looks kind of like a hyena almost. Has a pretty ugly face. Zealot for Astrea pressure comes out, unable to kill the shield battery. Does force another battery though, keeps the defensive focus. Ooh, MaxPax. Okay, so it's 40 minerals, 8 worker trips to open up that path. Takes a long time to open that up. Nexus on the gold base is up, Oracle's on the way. Only a 3 worker lead for MaxPax so far. You'll notice he's not chrono boosting probes because he is worried about dying, so there's gaps in his worker production. He still doesn't know what's going on. And this Adept, unable to get on in there. Stalker will be able to hunt that down a little bit, do some damage. So he should shade again. I would like to see him shade directly there, but he's going to shade to the watchtower, and that's a pretty good call. Oracle in the main, the Adept has actually done a really good job. He's already anticipated this as MaxPax, though, because his hallucination saw the Stargate. Well done, well done. Oh, MaxPax, watch out! Oh, it's a big stasis trap. Big stasis trap, well done. Oh, great hallucination scout for MaxPax, but screws up there. He thought this was defended. He looked away, and meanwhile, oh, that is a big recall, my god. So he's gonna go 3 gateways behind this, 3 gateway blinkers Astrea. He's gonna build a Phoenix right now. His Oracle's still alive, and that income, I mean, that was obviously ahead for MaxPax. Guys, look at that income graph. That thing, obviously, it jumped from the stasis trap. You're about to see it jump, not from the stasis trap, but from the gold base kicking in. And we see pretty big differential there. We'll check back in on that. Obviously, it takes time for the graph to show the income advantage. There we go. Hovering at about 400-500 minerals a minute. It's a pretty damn big income advantage. We can see the income in the top left. Maybe not quite that much, as there is, of course, only 6 mineral patches there, right? So it's pretty similar, but... Oh. Ooh, wins the Phoenix fight and kills the Adept. Nice play from MaxPax. Has his own Oracle coming in. Battery gets built in the main. You do have Blink on the way, but very low on the unit count right now. No shield battery at the front, and all your production's right there. Oracle comes in, though, and that Oracle could do some damage. Gets 3 probes. Oracle running on in. 4 Stalkers at home should be able to defend this. Just 3 Stalkers and a Sentry, not a real pushing force, is it? And at this point, MaxPax has got to realize that gold base has been taken. And Blink kicking in is going to be very nice for Astrea. I'd love to see Astrea drop a 3rd right about now, and you can see, yeah, he's doing it. Unfortunately for him, the Oracle has spotted that, so it's kind of obvious. And this Phoenix comes in, and is going to force the Stalker warp in down there. The shield battery, though, is going to keep the Oracle alive. And those Stalkers actually going to get a Phoenix kill. Very nice. Oracle is going to kill that probe. 3rd base is on the way. Mass Gateway coming down here, going up to 5 Gateway Blink for MaxPax, but a Robo already being added for Astrea. And his... Oh, is that his Oracle? Looks like his Oracle got caught out. Time for him to start pushing, I think, Astrea. And potentially kill this pylon, just to allow your units to rally in and out of your base. I think would not be a bad idea. Obviously, at the moment, he's just warping in out on the map, and he's going to try and warp in from this base. He's also going to build some more pylons around just for spotting. And it looks like it's pretty similar Stalker numbers. I don't see either playing have a massive advantage. Astrea's Blink is only just finished. MaxPax not ready. Oh, man. Bit of a crazy Blink attack there from Astrea. I think he thought he might have had a few more units advantage than he really did. Oracle for MaxPax. Gonna come in. And there is a shield battery in the main. I think he knows about that. But he's gonna go for the stasis trap. He says, revenge, dickhead! Revenge! Stalker fight in the middle to distract. MaxPax is outnumbered, though. He could just get blinked on, I think. He's got to be real careful here. Oh, he turns on the laser. And the laser can get through. Remember, you do 2 damage above the shields with every attack, because you do 22 damage an attack. So you, over the course of 10 attacks, can kill a 20 hit point probe. So an Oracle with enough energy will eventually kill a whole mineral line if there aren't any anti-air units or anything like that warped in, and if the Oracle has enough energy. Guys, this is awesome. Astrea playing this map to perfection. He's been I really just want Astrea to play every single new map that comes out because he's so creative with how he plays it. I kind of wish we had SOS and Hasia playing today and a few other guys as well. And bring out some of the creative Zergs. I wish we had Bly sign up for this, actually. It's very late over there in the Ukraine. A giant Stalker fight going on. Who's lost more Stalkers? It feels like, okay, so one extra Stalker has died. But Trigger only now starting his third. He feels a lot of pressure and he misplaces it as well. A little bit of panic there. Who's got +1? Neither player has a Forge. And it's just 4 gateways for Astrea, 5 for Trigger. Astrea's money's starting to build up now. So he does have to be a little cautious. Feels like his Stalkers are a bit more damaged as well. I'd be tempted to blink on that if I was Astrea. I'd be very tempted. Gets one more Stalker there. He's building a Forge there. Now, Oracle coming in on this side. He's going to try and be a bit of a dickhead. Same Oracle from the early game. He's going to go for the Stasis Trap. And... whoa! Doesn't pull all the probes. Quite a few of them get frozen there. Well done. He'd like to kill that Oracle, but it does fly off to the right side. DT Shrine in the way. Wise choice. Forge there as well. Already we've got +1 attack and another Forge for Astrea. Is he intending to play mass upgraded Zealot Stalker? Very cool style. Don't see that very often. Oh. Oracle. Big Stasis Trap. Oh, man. Oh, god damn. Ouchie, ouchie, ouchie. Ah, shit me, dude. Fake Trigger in the chat is typing at the same moment. Yeah, that's not real. The real Trigger is Trigger SC, guys. You can... pretty sure it's Trigger SC, if I remember correctly. That is not the real Trigger. If he was typing into its chat while playing, that would be god tier. It would also be cheating. But, yeah. 1-1 upgrades in charge coming in for Astrea. MaxPax with a much better, what was I calling MaxPax Trigger there for a second? Oh, I probably lost it. I did, didn't I? What can I say, guys? I've had almost no breaks today because I've just been fucking trying to cast the maps, haven't I? I called MaxPax Trigger a few times, didn't I? What can I say? Aren't we all just triggered when we're facing Astrea's stupid bullshit, guys? Aren't we? And that's what I meant the whole time. Couldn't you guys tell? It's an allegory. It was on purpose. I said the wrong. It's a real thing, guys. So anyway, it's a mass Blink Stalker standoff. DT is very cute. Observer pops out at the perfect time. Good choice for MaxPax to try something, but without Blink or a Warp Prism, it's really hard to get in there. And look at this, Astrea is so prepared with that Phoenix on the top as well. MaxPax trapped in a corner. DT runs in. Cannon was already there. 6 probes do go down, so maybe that cannon finished up just after it started killing the probes. Otherwise, it should have been chased off after just 2 or 3 workers at most. MaxPax is stuck in a corner. Astrea, definitely not the best finisher, right? We talked about Cyril. The finisher was one of his nicknames when he was so good at finishing games and just always winning, and he'd always close it out. Astrea is known for sometimes giving up leads, right? And he's so good at the strategic kind of push and pull, but if his opponent just forces him into a bit of a grind fest to close it out and drags the game on for long enough, sometimes Astrea gets impatient and takes some bad fights. Some have called him the Tantric Protoss because of that. They say, you know, he can go for days, and some people like that, and it definitely gives him strength. He's very good at making comebacks from way behind and that sort of stuff, but when it comes to just getting that explosion onto his opponent and finishing them off, sometimes it's hard for him to commit 100%. And when he does commit, it feels like it's out of his comfort zone, and so he takes these awkward fights sometimes. Let's see how this one goes as MaxPax keeps looking for the better angled fights. Stalkers there, find another Stalker, take control of the Watchtower. The Warp Prism of MaxPax pushed back with a 4th base now up. I mean, he's down on workers a little, but he's got the 4th up. And he's going for 2-2 upgrades, which is super sick. I love the 2-2. I don't like the Forges in different places. Really hard to chrono both Forges at the same time. But it is what it is. Stalker's coming forward. No Observer on those. He's going to kill the Cybercore and run away, I guess. Not the biggest cost immediately, since charge is done for MaxPax. He will be able to make Zealots, but that is a scary concave. Battery overcharge, though. I think MaxPax should move forward just a little bit there so more Stalkers can attack. Even with battery overcharge, I'm okay with Astrea taking this fight just because his concave is so superior. Big DT backstabs heading to the bottom right, though, and more DTs are warping in here. MaxPax realizing you don't have an Observer. These DTs will turn this fight around. Astrea, he's got to turn and run. DTs in the bottom. Stalkers, a cannon, and an Observer. So even if he kills the cannon, the Observer overhead. Now remember, this is something, if you play against people who are really good at using DTs, you always want to create a squad. This is your counterattack / drop defense squad with both a big pack of units and an observer on that control group. And part of the dance in StarCraft PvP mid to late game is main army not only postures versus main army, but that other squad has to constantly move. And guess what, guys? Big damage coming in. MaxPax with the Blink DT comeback. Shades of MaxPax versus Big Gabe, EPT North American Final number 70 something, I think it was, where he was way behind on Blackburn and then he flanked the siege tanks and killed them all with Blink DTs. This is MaxPax. He's so effing good at making comebacks. And remember, guys, we've asked him before, MaxPax, how are you so good with your DTs? How do you always find the right moment to throw DTs out to catch your opponent off guard and then you don't lose them and you use them so perfectly? Like, what is the secret? We asked him at Pigstarcraft Festival. MaxPax said, you micro them. And we were like, whoa, are you fucking for real? And he's like, yeah. And we were like, dude. And he has been microing his DTs excellently. Unfortunately, he was just so far behind that his army is outnumbered and outgunned. DTs, though, continue to be microed. If he didn't micro, they would have got stuck in the choke, but he micros them. They go around, they take the cannon down. But unfortunately, he's so outnumbered. I don't know if he can handle Astrea's giant 2-2 Stalker attack on the front. The last DTs die at home. Yes, Astrea took a big economic damage, but you know what? He's got 4 bases. His opponent has taken the 4th in the back at this point, but there's just so many more units. That Immortal gets blasted down, and MaxPax tries to fight back. He micros his Dark Templars, and he almost micros his way back into the win, but in the end, Astrea does tie it up 1-1 with some cheeky bullshit, and he makes MaxPax hashtag triggered, because that's trigger. It's not MaxPax. I'm confused. Alright guys, we are going into Nemesis. Apparently, I didn't actually cast this map yet in this tournament, so thank you to -0. I don't know, who made this map? Guys, in chat, let me know. We've got MaxPax in the bottom right, and we've got Astrea in the top left. Also, what category is this map? If you guys could let me know that as well, I'd really appreciate it. So we've got some very narrow choke point paths across the map with destructible rocks. We've got Sight Blocker in the middle. Oh yeah, big chasm here. Big chasm, and vaguely chode shaped, but we've got another giant chasm here as well. Oh, this is a really big chasm. And then, okay, so you've got this like valley through the center of the map, and you got this high ground, but then you've got another kind of valley through there with destructible rocks that'll open it up. Oh, that's very exciting. It's not the size of the chasm, but how you use it, says Twitch chat. Thank you very much, guys. I agree. All those people out there, those small chasm lads, been waiting to hear that. Thank you for the affirmation. So it looks pretty straight up, just 1 gate expand for MaxPax, which is one of his favorite things to do. And Astrea is playing very tricky, right? He definitely got an edge in that last map, but he was hoping to not get spotted going for that. You know, his MaxPax is there ready to stop him. His chronoing Stalker's out, and he was faking this. Oh, Astrea's triggered at this point, guys. He was trying to fake the expand. Hide the pylon, fake the expand. MaxPax, even though he didn't see the pylon, he's actually pretty chilled out with how this went, and he's got to deny that scout. And Astrea does at least deny the scout to confirm the Nexus, but that Nexus could have been 30 seconds earlier, similarly timed to MaxPax. And then the idea for Astrea is MaxPax goes Stargate, right? And he goes Oracle, maybe a Void, maybe a Battery, and he's just going to go Twilight into Blink, Sentry for scouting. He can use hallucinations and stuff to confirm what's up, and just play straight to Blink and basically be like, hey, as long as I defend your Stargate units well, I have a bit of momentum in getting into the Blink Stalkers, your Void Rays aren't going to be very useful later in the game. And you know what? You know what, mate? That's going to be awesome for me, because I'm going to take a quicker third off that. I'm going to get ahead, and you're actually going to be in a bit of trouble. And already, notice how Astrea is up in probes. So this is the power of hiding the fact that you're going for the expand build. And a single adept, not very scary, but it does get a scout, so not bad. And if the sentry chases it too far, it might die. Notice, pull back. Okay, pulls it back in range. There we go. Sentry and the Stalker chasing the adept. Gets a little bit of damage on it. Nice micro on this Stalker. Now he does F2 there, bit of a lazy F2. That's why he pulled the hallucination back. Hallucinations do count as part of your army, for those who don't know. I know because I regularly go to look at my scout and go, where's my hallucination? And I realize it's sitting over my army because I F2'd it. Not a very good hallucination scout, though. He does end up just clicking it at the front of the base. Sees a Void Ray at least. Meanwhile, Forge, Twilight, extra gateways. MaxPax can go into upgrades and his own blink. But very similar worker counts. MaxPax with about 1 or 2 worker lead. Astrea, I'd love to see him take a super quick third since he's gone straight blink. He's got to keep his Stalkers defensive in case Oracles come in. But having seen no Oracle building in the Stargate, maybe not that big of a concern. Builds a pylon, misplaced it, cancels it, builds a Nexus. And this is a really nice setup. Now, MaxPax is already building a forward pylon. He can warp Stalkers in across there. If he builds a gateway, it'll be fast warp-ins. So cute placement, preparing to snipe this third. Problem for him is he went Forge. This is not, let's rush 4 gateways and catch out. This is, I've got 4 gates and +1 and blink. Doesn't look like he's investing in a 5th gateway. It's not crazy heavily committed. But this sort of attack historically has been very good versus Astrea because Astrea is the Greed Lord. And he's going to go Robo, so Immortals would help here. But funnily enough, MaxPax built no units this game, guys. He built that 1 Adept and nothing but 1 Void Ray. So MaxPax seems to have a good read on what Astrea is doing this game. Third base is there. I do expect Stalkers to start warping in rather quickly for MaxPax. He's worried about any other cheeky things that could be coming. So he's going to warp in some Stalkers on the front. 5 Stalkers and a Void Ray. Not a bad push. But there's already 6 Stalkers and a Sentry for Astrea. So Astrea's building a battery pretty early as well. He should be able to get over there and defend this. I think looking at the timing, +1. Forge, yeah, +1's not really going to be ready. But I think he just goes with 9 Stalkers, right? 1 more Stalker warp in. Astrea does spot it. He'll lose a Stalker for his trouble. But early warning, kind of important. He's got to pull all of his units to the front. Notice he's pulling these units down. He's worried about his natural right now, so he thinks it might be an Oracle coming in as well. Uh-oh. Oh, does do a lot of damage to that Void Ray, and the battery's up. Astrea's fine. Astrea should have held this, but he's only on 2 gates, actually. Yeah, only 2 gateways, I think. And you see the way he threw those gateways down? That was, like, not very clean. In terms of, yeah, and it's like 6 gateways at once. I think Astrea's realized he may have taken a little bit longer on this than he would have liked. And with lots of Stalkers warping at a time for MaxPax, that's a little scary. Now, MaxPax is down 4 workers. He's going for +2 attack, and he's rotating. He's going to look for probes, rallying across, that sort of thing. Astrea goes over to the right side. Those Adepts, going to have to deal with those. He's going to send 3 Stalkers to deal with the Adepts. The other Stalkers blink in. MaxPax here, he's committed. And he's not clumped enough to recall right now. Oh, this is kind of wild. Has he got the numbers where the Stalker count just seems too low? Those 3 Stalkers out on the right. And it just feels like forcing this kind of messy, weird engagement seems to have favored MaxPax, but at the end of the day, is it really a great trade for him? I can't quite read it as that. He does lose a Void Ray and 7 Stalkers. He wastes a lot of mining time, but he doesn't actually kill that many probes. Those probes really helping out in that fight. MaxPax did kill the Observer of Astrea though, which is very nice, and Astrea will get his revenge now. He should turn around and blink back to kill that. Or just use this Stalker, that'll do. Looks like he wants to counterattack now. 16 Stalkers versus 9, and he's got the Warp Prism there, warping around his Zealots and pull the trigger. No upgrades for Astrea. Remember, these units are better quality for MaxPax, but his battery's not ready. And MaxPax, I think he should have maybe held his ground out there. Without a shield battery, I don't know if this hold is possible. It feels like actually Astrea has managed to get himself in a very good position. Probes being pulled here, but it's to abandon. It's not even to fight. Okay, now he pulls them to fight as the Immortal joins in the fray. The 4 gateways extra coming up for MaxPax right now, but there's already lots of Stalkers and Zealots warping in for Astrea. He's got about double the army. He tried to just set off the Immortal barrier, wasn't quite able to get in range, and there we go. He's going to blink forward and 2-shot it anyway. A few more of these Stalkers will go down. And that shield battery, you should not let that one finish in that base. Doesn't want to chase too far into the natural. Gets another Stalker or 2. Sets up the concave. He's got only 1 Zealot there. A few more Zealots going into that base will be good. And he just wants to control the angle. But he does let MaxPax out. Doesn't want to fight the battery overcharge. Still got the massive army advantage, does Astrea. And now, as the battery's depowered and the Zealots tear up the worker line, the Stalkers blink on his face. And Astrea looks like he's going to take the 2-1 lead over MaxPax. A fantastic hold on the defense. It's a classic Astrea holders, isn't it? 4 gateways versus 2, half the production, but he holds because he warps in more frequently than other Protoss players. Astrea builds more economy, more consistently, but he also warps in off his gateways kind of the way a Terran does off their barracks, where it's just constant production. And so it's harder to catch him out even when he doesn't see a push coming. Whereas other Protoss players, they prepare to just be really greedy and then bam, at a very conscious moment, swap into unit production. You can surprise Astrea with cheeky bullshit, and sometimes he holds even off very little production because he has just been building those Stalkers non-stop, even though it was just off 2 gates early on. Well played by Astrea here, and that third base is going to fall in a moment. Still got a lot of Zealot Stalker here. MaxPax pushed out of this game. Whoa! It's bright! Cover your eyes! Cover your eyes! Blinding, the blinding light. We are here on Moondance. MaxPax down here. My gosh. It is very bright, isn't it? Very beautiful, though. We've got some nice purple crystals, some beautiful plants. Oof. Astrea is in the top left. Oh, we've got some Xel'Naga artifacts. Doing the old up and down, are you? Oh, it goes down? Then it goes down again? Wait, does it go? And then it goes back up? I don't know why this excites me so much. I'm just as confused as you guys are. Never mind. We got some, glowing little mushroomy type or like little bean things sticking out of these plants. This is beautiful. Beautiful map here. Purple crystals all over it. We've got some cool sight blockers. Oh, some little plants and so on. Both players doing standard low ground gateways here as well. This map really is very bright. Wow. Can you guys imagine what GSL would look like on this map? GSL already has their gamma at like 5,000. This map would be crazy with the GSL gamma settings on. Man, I feel like my eyes are hurting looking at this actually. It's a little too bright, right? Just a little too bright. It's like there's extra bloom lighting or something in the main. Is that the right word? Bloom, like the natural looks fine. It's just something about the like there's extra light here and it's like reflecting off everything. Damn, it's crazy. Anyway, guys, Nexus goes down way quicker for Astrea this time around. So MaxPax is the one who's unable to block. And this is a interesting bit of a switch around. So does MaxPax get cheesy in response or not? Apparently, there's very little dead space behind the bases on this map. We see, not a lot of dead space to hide your air units in. There's a fair bit. Oh, up here behind the natural there is. And wait, you get a third base in the back. Oh, this is old school. This is like a Mega Turtle old school map. Now, MaxPax looking to cheese, guys. He's going to go for the forward gateway. Yeah, or forward Stargate even, maybe. That's too close, though. This is way too close. Oh, he's just going to go one gate pressure? What? This is real bizarre. I mean, he's baited Astrea into pulling the probes. Cancels it, and Astrea just goes back to mining. And MaxPax is just going to build a Stargate and expand. Okay, maybe MaxPax saw Astrea pull a ton of probes earlier against Trigger, and he's decided, you know what? Let's try and bait that response from him again. But maybe it was just him respecting the fact that Astrea was going to shut that down. And this pylon does go down. So, I mean, MaxPax hasn't really done anything yet. He has a Zealot and an Adept there. Astrea is ready to wall off, though. And, of course, nice, easy win on this fight. Battery does block the Adept Shade, of course. Zealot even lands a few hits on that Adept. Oh, that's actually really effective. If he could kill that, that would be huge. The Adept trying to hide in the shadow. Astrea does keep the Zealot alive. Stalker, 2 more hits and it's dead. 1 more hit. Oh, that's a big pick off. Very, very nice for Astrea. MaxPax does not have his expansion started yet. Astrea's on 2 base. It's a second gateway and a battery. Ooh, I don't like that building placement. These probes on this patch are going to be mining really awkwardly. And a pylon. Hey! You cheeky bugger. You cheeky bugger, you. He's going to pull 3 probes to deal with that. Probably didn't need to do that, really, but... Oh, MaxPax is 1 base all in, guys. He's going 3-gate Void Ray all in. And at this point, you got to realize there's, definitely some cheeky shenanigans abounding. Hey, another pylon will come up. If you just get enough gateways yourself, you'll be fine. Zealot Scout goes in, sees no Nexus. He knows exactly what he's up against. You got to just play 4-gate, surely. Surely as Astrea, you just play 4-gate. Yeah. 4-gate Stalker. If he can just get enough Stalkers up and some batteries and stuff, he'll be good. If he kills that probe, that would be really good, but the probe quickly pulls back. Nice shuffle there by MaxPax to get him out of there. MaxPax wants to keep himself alive in this grand finals. Astrea, though, showing some great creative use of these maps so far, and it seems like MaxPax here might be the one running out of steam. That Void Ray has to survive. It does, but he's going to lose his Stalker and that Zealot. He loses the probe, which means no shield batteries building on the front. Stalker for Stalker trade. Zealot goes down as well. Astrea trading 1 Stalker for a Zealot, a probe, and a Stalker, not to mention the pylon, and shutting down the shield batteries getting started. This buys Astrea the time he needs. He's already on 31 probes. And he's just going to be making so many Stalkers. He's got extra pylons on the way so he can build batteries out front his base. And these Void Rays, they're so exposed. And this one only, even at max shields, will have 134 hit points, which is not many Stalker shots at all. It's like 5 or 6 Stalker shots. Ooh, I mean, I'm bad at numbers, like 8 Stalker shots. But, oh, barely survives the first volley. But the Void Rays do fall. Once the Void Rays fall, Astrea, he doesn't need to complicate this. Notice he's sticking a really basic micro. He was just focus firing, wasn't trying to pull back weak ones at first. And he just uses the numbers and catapults himself to victory. Hot diddly damn. Very nicely done. GG, well played. And of course, if this went on, there is a half base in the back. 6 minerals, 1 gas. So it's not a full third base, but it's a very easy to protect half third base. You get 3/4 minerals, 50% gas. And I think that's still definitely worth it with how easy that is to defend. Wouldn't mind doing some 3-hatch before pool or something like that on this map a few times, seeing what we can get off and get away with. Some really cool maps here in this tournament. Guys, shout out to Astrea for being so darned creative and just really showing us how it's done. Bloody well played. Astrea is our Team Liquid map contest Pig Tournament champion.